Hey, Craig, great to be with you. Well, St. Peter's Square, as we just saw from those aerial shots, has been transformed into a church. And the entire world has been invited to celebrate this Mass and to celebrate the late Pope Francis, the People's Pope. As we saw there are about 40,000 to 50,000 packed into St. Peter's Square right now. There are crowds as far as the eye can see. We know at least more than 100,000, along with all the world leaders that are coming in here. We can see the Prime Minister of the UK there, the Prince of Wales here, former President Joe Biden as well. It's a very peaceful scene. As you can imagine, Craig, people are calm. They are praying. They have been praying rosaries in the lead up to the beginning of this Mass, which is just moments away. The weather out here could not be more perfect. The light, much like the great Ann Thompson, is ethereal. It is the perfect temperature, the perfect time to celebrate Mass, Craig.
Indeed, indeed. We should note there the weather has been picture perfect all week, and we expect more of that today as well. And you have been there, not just there at the Vatican this week. You have covered this Pope for a number of years now. You've covered the Catholic Church for a long time as well. And for the purposes of this conversation, I should disclose you're on the board at Notre Dame. You know the Catholic faith just about better than anybody I know. We were talking earlier this week about how this service is going to be a reflection in many ways of who this Pope was. Explain that for our viewers and listeners, Ann.
Absolutely, Craig. I mean, we will focus on the heads of state who are here, but Pope Francis would focus on the people way in the back of the square. We saw the members of the VFW group who were there, the poor people who will be represented today. This Mass and the funeral procession afterwards will drive home Pope Francis' message that the Catholic Church is a church for all, that the doors are wide open, and it is a field hospital for the spiritually wounded. You will hear that again and again today. You will hear it during the Mass, and then you will see it in the funeral procession when the poor, the homeless, migrants are all represented at the very end of the procession at the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore. Craig?
All right, Ann, stand by. Tom, stand by. I'm joined here on set by Father John Bartunek, an NBC News contributor, theologian. Theologian. It's 4 a.m., excuse me. And Kathleen Sprouse Cummings, also an NBC News contributor, professor of American Studies and History at the University of Notre Dame. Professor, I'll start with you. You and I spent some time roughly 10 years ago when the Pope came here, St. Patrick's Cathedral. You and I spent some time talking that day as well. We have an advanced copy of the homily, not a eulogy, but a homily. And part of it reads, "With our prayers, we now entrust the soul of our beloved pontiff to God, that he may grant him eternal happiness in the bright and glorious gaze of his immense love." What else do you expect to hear this morning, Professor?
That's right, Craig. It's a somber day. Unlike in 2015, the joy of his visit here to the United States, it's very much a somber day. The funeral rites will be streamlined according to Pope Francis's wishes to have it more fitting to be a shepherd. But of course, it'll be very elaborate. He is the Pope. And ultimately, it's a Christian burial. We're celebrating a man of God who returned to God.
As we're having this conversation, there he is, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, First Lady Melania Trump. They're making their way to their seats there, and it appears as if they're being followed by President Emmanuel Macron of France as well, and the First Lady. During the service, we're told that the coffin will be in the center of St. Peter's Square there. On one side, you will have the dignitaries, the heads of state, royalty, and on the other side, you will have members of the clergy as well. As we look at this procession, that was a powerful scene there inside St. Peter's Basilica. Father, that appeared to be the bishops and the cardinals preparing to make their way outside to the funeral. Is that what we just saw?
Yeah, they put on their vestments inside the basilica on the side, and that procession that we saw is actually part of the, it's in a sense, it's part of the whole celebration. It's a symbol of the people of God who are kind of journeying towards heaven. And so as they come out before the Mass, they're already kind of incarnating that hope and that prayer for Pope Francis.
Tom Yamas there, standing by again in St. Peter's. Tom, let's talk about what we're seeing here. Again, we see President Trump getting ready to take his seat. Who else can we expect to see here?
Well, moments ago, the cameras captured Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky walk down those same steps. It sounded like the crowd started to applaud for President Zelensky as he walked in. But of course, President Trump and the French president as well, Emmanuel Macron, had walked in just before that. It's incredible when you look at this, Craig, and you think about all the things that are happening in the world and how there are so many world leaders who are at odds right now, but they are coming together at least for 90 minutes to celebrate this great man, Pope Francis, for all the work he had done. And for a moment, at least, right, for a few hours today, the world will come together in peace and think about this man and the work he did. And I also have to say, you know, as we watched all those cardinals, this shot right here, as they're starting to sort of enter St. Peter's Square from the Basilica, the next pope is among all these men. And there is an anxious flock across the world looking forward to the next pope, wondering who will lead the Catholic Church and which direction will it go? Will it go in the direction of Pope Francis? Some call it a progressive direction, or will it go back to what some people call back to the roots, maybe more conservative? It's unclear, and it's a huge debate right now within the Catholic Church.
Roughly 80% of the aforementioned College of Cardinals appointed by Pope Francis.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.